Dubaï est devenue depuis peu la 4e ville la plus visitée au monde, juste derrière Paris. Mais les promoteurs immobiliers ont apparemment oublié un petit détail dans la construction de plusieurs gratte-ciel, les rendre résistants au feu. En 1968, quand la jeunesse européenne déviante fumait des pétards en écoutant les Beatles, aux Émirats Arabes Unis, on était occupé à toute autre chose, le premier recensement de la population. Pour Dubaï, le chiffre est alors de 59 000 habitants, aujourd'hui on en compte 2,2 millions et des centaines d'immeubles qui grattent le ciel du golfe Persique. Le 31 décembre 2015, l'Émirat a organisé un réveillon grandiose, mais c'est un feu d'artifice un peu imprévu qui a gâché la fête. C'est l'immeuble The Address qui s'est embrasé. Je vous rassure, il n'y a pas eu de mort, mais comme dirait OSS 117...
Il y a tout de même quelque chose qui me turlupine, Jack.
Oui, c'est très turlupinant car un immeuble qui prend feu, ça arrive. 3 immeubles depuis 2012, c'est plus embêtant. Il y a donc eu le building The Address, The Torch en février 2015 et le Tamwil en novembre 2012. Pour essayer de comprendre ces coïncidences, nous allons poser quelques questions à Phil Barry, consultant britannique en sécurité incendie qui a travaillé de nombreuses années dans les pays du Golfe. The main problem of these buildings is actually the aluminium panels which cover them. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. The aluminium panels, they're thin layers of aluminium on the outside, and they're filled with, on occasions, what's termed a thermoplastic. And that's a plastic that will soften when it gets hot and melt, and then they're flammable.
But, how much would it cost to make these buildings fire rated?
Well, that's the problem. An awful lot of money. That's the problem. What you do with these existing buildings that have been built incorrectly. The fundamental issue is that they've been carrying out the wrong tests on some of these panels. That's one problem, and there are other panels out there that claim to be tested to a certain standard to make them non-flammable, and they haven't been correctly tested.
The National, which is an Emirati newspaper, say that the majority of the buildings in Dubai are not fire rated. Would you say the same and use the same proportions?
Yeah, I would, because unfortunately they changed the regulations in 2012, and they're going to change them again in 2016. Well, this year they're going to change them to make them tighter. But there are many buildings that were built prior to that.
I have an article just in front of me talking about 250 buildings that are concerned by this problem.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
When you were working in the region in 2012, you identified, and I quote you, a general trend of fires in high rises. But who did you talk to about this?
At the time, I wrote an article.
There was no official reaction?
No. Following the torch fire, I wrote an article in February last year in 2015. It got a lot of interest from things like LinkedIn, with people in the business were discussing it. And the authorities clearly knew there was a problem. That's why they amended the regulations in 2012. And they were already preparing to amend them in 2016. Before the address fire happened.
But when will it change? Do we have to wait for like a major catastrophe, or?
I'm convinced of that. I'm convinced that people know that there's a problem, but they don't really know what the solution is. They've solved, or they're solving the problem for new buildings, but the buildings that are there existing, nobody really knows quite how to treat it, because it's whichever solution you use is going to cost an awful lot of money.
But is it possible to make them fire rated, or you just have to demolish them?
No, it is possible. There are products out there.
Can we say at least that the firemen in Dubai are doing a great job, because there has been like 3 major fires since 2012 and no one died?
That's right. They're doing a fantastic job, and it's not. Of course, they are doing a good job. They're not. But it's not so much because they are doing their job. I think it's because the buildings largely are built safely. They're built safely inside. They've got strong walls, compartment walls inside. They've got sprinklers. So far, the internal sections of the building have done their job, but there is a very real potential, because the outsides are so defective, for the fires to get so big, and I'm convinced that there will be deaths, and unfortunately it appears that nobody's going to take this very seriously until there are some.